This video is going to look at part of the CRUD, create, retrieve, update, and delete for databases. This will be the creating records part. Once again, I'm assuming you have your project set up in PHP Storm connected to your Microsoft Azure web server and database, and then you have Lab 7 files updated because that's what we'll be using to discuss this creating records. Here in Lab 7, I do have some files that are dealing with the CRUD, and I have them creating the record and then creating the record and processing that. We'll look at create record first. Create record, and we'll come over here, and down here underneath the CRUD heading, we'll click on C for create record. It's a simple little form. Now, I didn't use HTML5 here. I apologize for that. But we're looking at dealing with updating the database. We need a form because we need to get data from a user, and forms are the process that we do use that here. And we have some fields. We look at our database and we open up our table ice cream. We have our fields here. We have the name, which is the name of the ice cream. That's what we ask over here in the field. So that would be something like mint chip. Then we have our base field. If we look over here on the far right, that's the base flavor ice cream that's in there. And that would be mint. And then what add-ins we have. And for this, we add in chocolate chips. Once we have that in there, in following this form, we have a submit button. That submit button is going to send the information we entered in here to this create record process. Most people, when they have a form that you're going to enter in data, they try and use the same PHP as the collection in the form and then also processing of that data. Here we're going to do it separately because we're trying to understand the basic principles. We have all that information in here. We have the name of the ice cream, the base, and the add-ins. Then we go and we click the add flavor button, which is this input here, and then it sends all this information to this file, create record process. What that's going to do here is, once again, we have our database connection. We make that connection. We retrieve the information from the form using a post, and once again we called it name, base, add, and we kept it the same. And then down here is where we actually have our SQL statement we're creating it. There are multiple ways of doing this. This is one example. We're going to do an insert into what table. These are the field names, name, base, add, and date. Once again, these are our fields. And then these are the values, question mark, question mark, question mark. Now, you could put the actual name of the value in there, or this is just another way of doing it. You take your statement and you bind the value, field 1, that would be this right here, and you set it as the name. Once again, the name we pulled from the information we're passing from the form. We continue through, that's base, add in, date. So date would be the fourth one here. We get that information from the form data. And then once we set or bind all that, we actually go ahead and execute that. We give some feedback. Let's see how that works. But before we do that, let's double click on table ice cream to see that there are no records in there. We'll do a refresh here, just once again to confirm. So I have the information about our mint chip ice cream over here. I'm going to click add flavor. Goes right through, gives us some feedback. It says it's added successfully. We'll do a quick refresh and look, that information is there. It's in the database already. Once again, remember, we're connecting to the remote web server. Let's go back to the main page. Let's add in another flavor here. Cherry Jubilee, cherry ice cream, and it has Bing cherries in it. Once again, do a refresh before I click add flavor. Nothing here. Click add flavor. Click add flavor. It's thinking about it. And refresh it, and there we have Cherry Jubilee. Our data is being added in there. This is the creating a record portion. And we're doing it in two files. The create record file right here is actually doing data collection. That's this form here. And then once we have it there and they click the add flavor button, it goes to create record process, and it actually processes that and adds that record in. And now we can see our data there. Thank you for watching.